So, let's talk about one of the most powerful ideas in all of philosophy, and it's all wrapped up in this one sentence. One must imagine Sisyphus happy. I mean, how can a guy stuck in an eternal, pointless struggle possibly be happy? Well, let's dive in and find out.
I mean, we've all been there, right? That feeling, like you're just pushing a giant rock up a hill. The endless cycle, the daily grind, the constant deadlines. You work so hard all day, you finally get to the top, and boom, the next morning, that same rock is right back at the bottom waiting for you.
But here's where it gets really interesting. This is the twist. The philosopher Albert Camus, he looked at that exact struggle, that exact feeling, and he came up with something totally radical. He said, wait a minute, what if real joy, what if true meaning isn't about finally getting the rock to the top of the hill? What if it's actually found in the pushing, in the struggle itself?
So that feeling we've been talking about, that sense of a meaningless struggle, it actually has a name. Albert Camus called it the absurd.
And look, the absurd isn't just saying life is meaningless. That's not it at all. It's way more specific. It's the clash. It's this deep tension between us, humans, desperately searching for purpose, and a universe that just gives us, well, complete silence in return.
Yeah, this really lays it out perfectly, doesn't it? On one side, you've got us, our desire. We're always asking the big questions. Why are we here? What's the whole point of all this? And then, on the other side, the universe's response? Just silence, nothing. That gap, that fundamental disconnect, that is the absurd condition.
So what do? According to Camus, you don't run from this. Denial, blind hope, that's not the answer. The really crucial first step to living a meaningful life, he says, is to just face it, to look the absurd right in the eye and acknowledge it, without blinking.
Okay, so to really get a grip on this whole idea of struggle, we need a symbol. And Camus found the absolute perfect one, the ultimate metaphor for what he called the absurd hero. And it comes from the ancient Greek myth of Sisyphus.
The story itself is, well, it's brutally simple. You've got Sisyphus, the gods punish him, and his punishment is this. He has to push a giant boulder up a really steep hill. But just when he gets to the very top, it rolls all the way back down. And he has to start over, for eternity. I mean, it is the very definition of a pointless, hopeless task. But here's the thing. Camus didn't just see a tragic figure in this myth. He saw a mirror. He saw us. He saw all of us in that struggle, pushing our own rocks every single day. You know, in our jobs, our relationships, our personal goals.
All right, get ready, because here comes that radical twist I was talking about. This is the moment where a story about eternal punishment completely flips and becomes a roadmap for finding joy. And it all comes down to three big ideas: revolt, freedom, and passion.
This right here, this is the pivot point. Sisyphus gets it. He knows his situation is hopeless. He's not kidding himself. But by consciously accepting his fate, by embracing the struggle with his eyes wide open, he totally robs the punishment of its power. See, he's not a victim anymore. He becomes the master of his own reality. And that acceptance, that's his freedom.
And that freedom, well, that's an act of revolt. But we're not talking about some loud, angry rebellion, shaking his fist at the gods. No. It's a quiet, internal defiance. It's the choice, the decision to live fully and create meaning for yourself, especially when you know none is just going to be handed to you.
This is the core mindset of the absurd hero. It's basically looking at that silent universe, at that endless struggle and saying, yep, I see ya, I get the deal, and you know what? I'm going to live it anyway, with everything I've got. And that's not despair. Camus says that's the ultimate form of courage.
Okay, so let's bring this whole idea down from the mythical mountaintop and into our actual everyday lives. How do we find meaning in pushing our modern rocks?
I mean, just think about it for a second. What are our rocks today? The daily routine, that inbox that never ever gets to zero, the endless scrolling through social media feeds, the constant battle with self-doubt or work expectations, right? These are our boulders. And yeah, they can feel so repetitive, so pointless, so draining. But this is the exact place, the exact territory where Camus says we can actually find happiness.
And this is maybe the biggest takeaway for our lives right now. We're often taught that meaning is something you find, like it's a treasure hunt, right? Something out there, just waiting for you to discover it. Camus flips that completely on its head. He says meaning isn't something you find, it's something you make.
You literally forge it. You create it in those small moment-to-moment choices. It's in the pride you decide to take in your work, especially on a tough day. It's in the love you choose to give, the things you create, the simple kindness you show to someone. It's in that powerful choice to just endure, to keep on pushing.
So when you really think about it like that, being Sisyphus, well, it stops being a curse, doesn't it? It's just what it is to be human. We're all endlessly beginning again, every single day. But maybe, just maybe, that's not a tragedy. Maybe that's where the beauty is.
And this line from Camus just nails it. It captures the entire philosophy. He says the value, the fulfillment, the real richness of life. It's not about getting to the top, some final destination. It's found entirely in the effort, in the climb, in the struggle itself. That's the thing that's enough to fill a person's heart.
And that brings us right back to the beginning, to that famous final line. One must imagine Sisyphus happy. Why? Why must we? Because in that conscious, defiant, passionate acceptance of his struggle, he's found everything. He owns his rock. He owns his hill. He owns his fate. He's totally free. So, that really just leaves us with one last powerful question to think about. If this guy, Sisyphus, condemned to the most pointless job imaginable for all of eternity, if we can imagine him happy, then maybe, just maybe, we can look at our own struggles, our own rocks, and imagine the exact same thing for ourselves.